What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Opendoor. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what's really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Opendoor is up 6.74%, 411 the low, 488 the high. So you are seeing a lot of craziness. So the broader market, for the most part, is selling off, and that's just because of the psychological aspect of September. And what I mean by that is over the long weekend, people had some time to really look at what September actually does mean for the broader market, and historically over the last 10 years how it goes down 2.2%. That just got in people's heads, and thus you have a sell-off. Even though manufacturing data wasn't all that bad, came in at 48.7 versus 48.2, still the whole psychological thing got into people's heads. Opendoor is a beast in among itself. So during the pre-market, it was actually going down, but then as soon as once the market does open, you are seeing a nice push higher. No news from the company itself, no SEC filings or anything along those lines. So still a lot of catalysts kind of stuck in limbo. No new analyst ratings on a side note. So I'll give you a quick summary of that. So the last rating that did come out was 21 days ago. Nothing really bullish in my opinion, but one thing that is really pushing Opendoor higher, despite the negativity in the broader market, is algorithmic trading. So you can kind of see from the secondary market, it's somewhat evenly divided, if not more oriented towards selling. So institutions are selling Opendoor today, and this is why I don't really like algorithmic trading. It kind of misrepresents what is truly happening. But if we pop over here, you see based on the flow, algos really in full force today. So again, that's something to keep in mind. Generally though, I don't want to discredit today, you still do see a lot of very strong walls of buys, and you can see that from the market position. So at the end of the day, higher highs might be in the foreseeable future, but as far as today, you see the main culprit being algos. That's what's really pushing Opendoor higher. So this is a very unique circumstance. You have Eric on social media. This individual, like, I gotta respect his drive. He's very much hell-bent on bringing more and more awareness to Opendoor. I've seen some of his posts, and I think, yeah, he's the individual that kind of called Opendoor a cult, not a meme stock. Of course, I think both have their pros and cons, but at the end of the day, I feel like he himself is bringing a lot of the algorithmic trading, because probably the algos are picking up on all the positive posts on social media and really kind of buying based on that. So again, even more reason to continue the positive posts. But yeah, definitely an interesting individual. I don't know, I've seen, like I said, some of his previous posts, and it looks like he actually wants to go into Opendoor HQ and go up to every employee and just say, hey, what are you doing for shareholders? Which I'm sure everyone would love to do that at one business or another. Realistically though, you probably won't want to know the answer to that. So I don't know about his full intention and how beneficial that truly could be, but nonetheless, definitely he is the spokesperson for Opendoor in my opinion. Aside from that, shorts are increasing 721,000 shares, 24.18% of the free float's being shorted today, and that works out to be 159.09 million shares. So shorts are starting to get back in from the recent lows, and so that lows were like 22%. So whether they double down or triple down, I think it's going to come down to the data for the rest of the week. As I mentioned in my video over the weekend, this week's a big deal for the broader market, and even more so for Opendoor. Looking at the options, 19 million in calls, 5.34 in puts, 542,000 in net premiums. Total premiums currently 24.4 million, and then 46% of all the options being done today are bullish in nature. From the bull standpoint, there's a consensus for it to be kind of around that 5 to 550, potentially as high as 6. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 4. So given where we are at, there is more upside anticipated. Aside from all that though, with that 467 trading exactly on this pivot point. So I know I've brought this up in the past. Some people say don't follow technicals, and I do tend to agree. Momentum stocks are just a beast in among themselves. But for those of you wanting to dollar cost average, swing trade, or whatever else, 476 is a key one to watch for. So best case scenario, it does close above that today, really pushing between this R1 and the pivot. So 549 would be the next following target / resistance point. Aside from all of that fun stuff, going back over here, getting rid of all of this, on the actual chart, it is above that 10-day moving average. And in Opendoor's case, that's a big one because that's more of a momentum and trend kind of indicator. So ultimately, the fact that it is staying above it shows that it's still in demand. And so yeah, at the end of the day, as long as it's able to stay above there, it could have a similar push to what happened in kind of August, second week of August, really pushing it higher. So as far as today, you see, because of the recent volatility, stochastic RSI somewhat in neutral / a little bit oversold status. So potential good catalyst will really cause this to fly high. And this is something I've stated. All of this pretty much has been very much speculation. So if there is a actual announcement that does come out, then you could see a push higher. But let me know your general thoughts on Opendoor. I know, like I said, it's a very unique circumstance. You see, based on the market position, a lot of big money actually getting in. But are you buying more? Are you selling? What's your general honest thoughts on it? Couple kind of levels to watch for though. Around that 520, you have a couple walls of sales, and even kind of roughly around where it is now at that $5 range. That's going to be some key limits. And then aside from that, it should be kind of free to run up. So let me know your thoughts on Opendoor. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One thing I do want to share with you though is if you're wanting access to all this information as well as algorithmic trading, this is something I've really pushed in the past that 𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗛 has that's unique, allowing retail to actually do algorithmic trading. If you want access to this, click on the link in the description below and also the comments. Sign up, and plus you actually do get $50 back if you just deposit $100. Pretty good return on investment based on this. So take advantage of this promo with link in the description below, like I said. So with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.